this is going to be someday. Tuesday, September 7th. Numbers are hard. And we're going to do more learny bit things today and possibly giving kids a chance to yell at me. We currently have kids who are working on the nonfiction thing from last week, which was the only homework. And then we do have a real quizzy quiz coming up this Friday. And so we'll come back to a real quizzy quiz. And then that's the only homework you guys have this week, kind of. Thursday, you might have a thing that involves reading a story, but it depends on how fast we get through things in class. And we'll sort of see how stuff happens from there. All right. And then to their Heroes t-shirt orders, it'll be on Canvas. I also have papery copies here if you want it. Does anyone have a Heroes t-shirt order thing to turn in? If you do, I'll take it from you. Yeah, if you have it, bring it to me and I'll be happy to take it from you. Otherwise, you have until next Wednesday to turn it in. Thank you. And then we should get them the week after that, I think, as we go through. Let's see, to theirsies. The shirt color is purple, although it's not going to be quite that color purple. That looks more like a lilac. I'm doing much more like a dark royal king purple kind of thing. Because we had to choose like a rainbow colors. We couldn't do like gray, black, or red. We had to do something else. And so of the rainbowy colors, I was going for the purpley one. Yeah.
So I looked at the photos of all three of them.
All three of what?
All four.
All four of what? You said I looked up photos of them. Who are them?
No, I'm talking about the shirts.
Okay, yes.
The different types of shirts. Do you think they look a little plain, in your opinion?
The plane?
Do you think they look plain?
Yeah. I didn't design them, that's why.
Oh.
These were designed because they're doing for this year, they're doing for all three teams, Stars, Globetrotters, and Heroes. It's the same design, just a different thing because our school's pushing this design really big this year. So that's why I didn't get to design it this year. So that's probably why it looks a little plain. The other ones were all designed by me, which has a bit more of my personality. The only thing I got to do here was pick the fonts, which I've tried to find cool fonts, but that was the only thing I got input on. And the saying on the back, that's mine also. Miles? Yeah. But they have a hood on them, and they have little pockety things in the front, so you can feel like a kangaroo if you want to. Hopping is optional. It just brings me joy when I do that, but we each have our own issues. Some of us just have a lot of issues. All right, so then we get to go to short storiesy things. All right, so to get you guys ready for the thing coming up on Friday, we're going to do a bit more short stories beatings to help you out. For this one, take green sheet and turn it face down and let your green sheets completely empty.
I forgot that.
Yep, that's why there's a video.
Yes.
So as we go through this, we're going to get a chance to just be able to speak loudly at me as we go through. This should be the last time I beat this information into you. We're going to move to new information beatings in a moment. I'm glad beatings bring you happiness, Steph. I feel the same way. Did you get it done? Yeah. Good job. You can put the iPad down then. Well, you might need it for the green sheet to have like a thing to write on, but we'll help you out from there. First off, plot. What is our definition of plot? Let's try this again. Turn your paper over. Why don't you take a look at the answers on there for a second? I didn't realize that we were going to be struggling quite so much. You don't have to raise your hand. We're going to say them all together. All right, let's try this again. Kids at home, just rewind a second and pretend that didn't happen. All right. What's our definition of plot?
What happened to the story?
See, now the kids at home are going to think you guys are all smart and not get confused. What is our definition for character? Nicely done. Now we're showing them that we got, all right. And then for setting, there's two parts.
Where and there.
That's for the when and the where. And then for the point of view, it does help if you wait till I get done talking before you try to yell at me. We'll try it again. For point of view is going to be?
How.
There we go. How we see the story. And there's 3 points of view we're going to use, which are? First person.
Third person. Second person.
Third limited and?
Fourth limited.
That was, again, more of a struggle than I expected. Go team, 6th period. And then for first person, who is telling us the story?
Main character.
Main character.
I mean we.
What pronouns are being used?
I mean we.
That was a struggle, but we got there. For third person, we're no longer using main character. What are we using instead?
Narrator.
Narrator. Limited, narrator follows how many?
One.
And in omniscient?
He, she, they.
We're
Many.
Many.
You're following many.
And then what pronouns are used?
He, she,
I don't know
they.
that.
There you go. And then to there, and then to there. All right, should we feel good with that one? Yay. So now you should have all this knowledge in your head in some way. If you want to turn paper back over, that's fine. If you feel strong and flexy, then you can keep it face down. Last week, when we first introduced this, I talked about video games with you guys for a moment. I decided to double down on that, so we're going to do a video game section. Yay. I'm going to see if you can figure... Deb, are you sitting down? Silly Deb, you're standing the whole class period. Cooper, are you sitting down? You're standing the whole class period. Once you stand, you lock in the whole time. Silly children. Good job, Leela. Nicely done. I'm used to it. Now, having it turned in is good. That means I don't have to torture you again tomorrow. But yeah, that works. Nice job.
She is about to sit down at 12:25.
Correct. Because she turned it in. She just waited late to turn it in. That's why I'm doing the same thing. So I was being nicer to her. So I'm going to show you a screen of a video game. If you figure out the video game, go you. That's not the question, although I am proud of you if you have good video game taste. It's going to be, can you figure out the point of view in the video game? All right, ready?
I can answer the first one.
Here's our first one.
Fortnite.
Good job.
Are you crazy? Yes.
Says the kid standing and talking. Who would be crazy enough to stand and... Now, again, those of you who figured it out, go you. Now, here's the part where you're going to do the hand-raising bits for the point of view. Is this first person?
Yes.
Third limited.
It's always first.
Not talking. Third limited. Third omniscient. How do you know it's first person?
Because it's
Serena?
See the hands of the character.
Works for me. Because again, you're seeing through the character's eyes. That's what tells you it's going to be first person.
Yes, I'm smart.
That was a bit of a struggle. Let's try a little bit less of a struggle.
Can't talk to me.
All
Can't
right.
read.
I don't know.
All right. Again,
This.
if you don't know the game, then you might not be able to figure out the point of view, which is fine.
Second person.
So on this one, those of you who know the game Animal Crossing, you're going to do the hand thing again. Is this a first person?
It's
Third limited? Third omniscient. For those of you saying it's third omniscient, that means you can change what character you are in the game. Oh.
Oh, no, guys.
So then
it's third person and limited.
as in, while you're here running around, not without quitting and starting a different thing, inside the game, you can jump from this character to this character to, so then if you're stuck following this one, what does that make it? There you go. It becomes staying with third limited. Now, if you can then like tab or toggle over and switch to a different character, then it becomes third omniscient. Yes, you can jump out of the game and then restart a different game as a different character. That's just starting a different story. You're not in the same story. Kira?
I was thinking of like when you talk to them, it also they talk like.
Correct.
So.
That's still the third person limited. You're just having that's the dialogue that pops up. Eli did the same thing. It's so embarrassing. It's okay. Among Us. Good job. So, again, figure out which point of view.
FaceTime.
First person, third limited, third omniscient.
Yes.
So if you're saying it's third omniscient, you can switch which character you're following.
No, but you can change
Yes.
like your.
You can change.
Now, given
change
you can change your outfit, that's not changing the
You
character.
can only stay with one person.
Correct. And I had kids say, you can follow a person around. I'm like, yes, that's called being sus. That just means that you're creepy. There's a difference between being creepy and changing a point of view. Like, but when you die, you become a ghost. You do. Do you get to switch which ghost you are?
Yes.
No. You're stuck as the same ghost. So again, third person, limited. You are stuck with just that character.
Oh, Madden.
Nicely done. For those who know who are Madden games, again, point of view, we'll go first person, third limited, third omniscient. So on third omniscient, you're saying you can change which character?
Yes.
That's the whole point. On this one, depending on which character has the ball, depends on which the point of view is. So I agree. That would be third person omniscient. And then Cooper, did you turn in the thing? Yeah, you can put your iPad away. You don't need it for that part. Now the iPad's done. All right. And then on this one, we have...
I think it's Minecraft. It's Minecraft.
Fortnite.
Maybe.
Now, I'm aware you can change the viewpoint in Minecraft, but for this one, Is this the first person view?
No.
Third limited?
Yes.
Third omniscient?
No.
Agreed. So you have the same thing. Third, and because it's following that one character, it's third limited. But if we did this,
Whoa. First person.
that's now where it switches to first person. Because you can tell because it has like a little clubby arm. I should have gotten one with a pickaxe in the hand, but I just got one with this little hand there. So I apologize. How embarrassing on my part.
You didn't even Minecraft.
There's a dream.
I think I have one more.
Thingy.
I do.
2K mobile. 2K
It
mobile.
is 2K mobile. So again, first person, third limited, third omniscient. What makes it third omniscient?
You can switch players.
There you go. The fact that you can switch players makes it third omniscient. All right. I like the video game method. That's pretty good. Yeah.
You didn't even Minecraft screenshots. I can do that for you. I can
It's so sweet of you. So can my child. She's kind of addicted to it also. But actually, I just found this magical place called Google, and I just typed in Minecraft screenshot first person.
If it's mine.
That is true. If you send me a screenshot, I will replace it. I can happily do that. Dev,
Could have done it with another IP address.
I could have. I was distracted by the kid not staying in the circle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mr. Brown, can I say something real quick?
Sure, James.
There's some games where you can actually like switch players, but it's in third person. What would that be?
Good question. On those, if it's third person, you can switch players. That's make third person omniscient.
Uh-huh.
Because I know, like Grand Theft Auto, you can't really switch, but throughout the story as you play it, it follows one character, then switches to another character. So I'd say that's sort of the same idea. So we did the story last week where we talked about the bunny monster and was going around and hiding and figure out the same thing. I'm going to run through that story real quick, but was it this class? No, I think it was my 7th period. Mentioned the fact that Lunchables, that was you?
No, we did that. Yeah.
So I Googled it and I found it after you had mentioned that one. The fact that, yeah, the Lunchables has a little bunny monster on the front of it. So I was like, I got curious. I started looking through it and then I started digging even more on Google and found like little commercials there. So apparently it's a much bigger thing than I thought it was. So
Look
yeah.
at that grandma.
I don't know. Well, she just found out about a kid who didn't turn in homework. So she was
Karen,
shocked.
Turn around.
Karen's be like when they lose an argument.
Wow, that seems so accurate. All right. So for these, let me run through them real quick just to give you an idea, and we'll see the point of view, the whole which one you think it is again, and then we'll get to our new learning stuff. As you sit in the grass and wiggle your evil bunny tail, you watch as the girl walks up the hill whistling. Does she have any idea I'm even here? You wonder. But you dismiss the idea as silly. No one knows about you. It is until you look up and see the creepy old geezer standing only a few feet away from you. This one is not using I, and it's not using he or she, which means it's not first person, and it's not third person. So what's the
Third
other thing?
omniscient.
It's second.
That's where second person comes in.
I love second.
So
I love my
you
child.
do get it because that'd be second. So second person is whenever it uses you. We don't really use that in stories because most stories are not written saying you because it'd be kind of weird and creepy. But I had kids ask, what is second person? So I figured I'd give you guys a view of it. That second person where it just says, you are doing a thing. All right. I have more, but I think we'll skip it. This one says, as I walked up the hill, I
First.
realized, makes it what?
First.
That's going to be your first
30.
person. See, as the student neared the top of the hill, the quiet atmosphere made her suspicious, tipped his head back. The girl shrieked. She sang out, is going to make it.
Third person.
Do you feel strong?
Third person.
I don't.
Third
Third
person.
person.
Omniscient?
Yeah. Wait. Yes.
Omniscient.
All right, just correct. I was waiting to see how confident you guys felt. We got better with it. Kiro?
So I'm writing right now. Actually, I have a page done right now. I'm not gonna read it at all or anything to anyone, but and this I can't tell if I'm doing it third person. It's two characters
First
talking,
person.
but like it doesn't go to their point of view or their point of view. It's just them talking.
And maybe in the scene you're in, it might not be enough of a scene to figure out, because if it's just a scene of two characters talking, you can't really tell yet until something else happens.
Well, they've I'll talk about it later.
That's fine. Yeah, figure out if it ends up following just one character as they go off and do a thing, that makes it the
Oh, all
limited.
right, limited.
And then there you go. I yelled in my monstrous
First person.
fury. I said while my little horn shook. I decided makes it
First person.
There you go. Leela,
Can I sit down now? Because it's time.
that's 226.
What? Oh, I think
You
your
said
clock's wrong.
228.
What's that? You want to negotiate to 229?
What? No.
Okay. And then, let's see, you get near your favorite hill, you hear, you say, around you, makes it?
Second.
Oh,
Second person.
You guys
Second
learned.
person.
Nicely done.
I don't learn at all.
All right, now back to the notesy bits. Let's finish out the rest of those little notey things to get you guys ready for that quiz thing coming up.
Yay.
I thought we were
No.
to 225.
All right, so here we got those first four theme. On theme, for our definition for here, most kids think it means like the type of thing, as in like comedy or horror or something like that. But that's genre. And the idea is because you guys have themed birthday parties. Like when I was a kid, I had a Wonder Pets party. It was a great theme. We dressed as animals. And I'm like, you're right. That is a type of theme. But in short stories, that's not how theme works. In short stories, or just stories in general, theme is not the type. Theme, you guys know what theme is?
Yeah.
No.
It's a meme without the T and H.
It is a meme, and no. It's what we learn. So a theme in a story is going to be the thing that we learn in the story. So here's the part where you would be writing stuff down on a little green sheet, onto the
I
notes.
don't have mine. I have it all filled in.
That's fine. I'll sell you a new one.
No.
It's okay. They're just points.
How much?
3.
How much do I have?
Less than that? Let's see.
I have less than 3 points.
Nope. You're now at 9.
Wait, no, I can check if I have it.
Well, that'd be a good idea.
I
But
feel desperate.
that's a good idea. I still have to charge you a point, though.
8 points?
A point. Because you should have been looking at the beginning of class. But the fact that you just made me do work means I have to charge you some. So, theme is going to be what the story teaches us, what we learn, the main idea of some kind.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, look at that. You did find it. It's amazing what looking does.
So I have 10 points now?
Nicely done.
How much points do I have?
10 points. And to answer your question earlier Sunday, the answer is no. No, you do not. The one that you gave to me. There you go. So on this one, so a theme should go from one, can be applied to multiple stories. Like, don't poke a bear with a stick would be an example of a theme. Lose points for not writing down the notes after the teacher just told you to would be a theme. Not do homework and then you're going to have to stand, that would be a theme. These are things that a character would learn in some way. They are.
Can I buy a pencil real quick?
No, but you can borrow one.
Are those the bit and pencils?
Of course they are. All right, I'll take that. Beginning of class, I could have happily given you one of the other ones. All right. Kira.
So, you just reminded me of a game. I can't tell what point of view it is. It's about, it's called Dumb Ways to Die. I don't know if you've ever heard about it, but
Oh yeah.
it's a game about not dying in stupid ways. And it talks about other characters. It's confusing.
It would be, and games don't always have a point of view to them.
Because it's multiple characters,
Correct.
but it doesn't say pronouns or anything.
It's not really a story, so I wouldn't worry about that
Do I
one
have
much.
It,
okay.
it has like little chunks of stories that are what causes them to die.
Correct. I imagine that's just be multiple third persons.
Or,
Mufasa.
So, what is the theme kind of deal like? So, what we learned in a story? Kind of like a conclusion?
Yeah, what we learned in the story. Yes, Leela, you may sit down now.
Yay!
Wait, we're ready to negotiate. So the theme, the thing that you learn, it should not be specific. It should be general. Like love can be a good theme, or stupidity could be a good theme, or getting punished for not doing homework can be a theme. It should not be Bobby went and smacked a bear, and then the bear ate him, and now Bobby's in little tiny pieces crying on the ground, and now he's learned not to smack a bear. That's way too much. The theme should be nice and simple. Just don't smack bears. That's your theme.
Cannot
You're not talking about metaphor and similes over here, are you?
No, not
My
yet.
kids don't understand anything about that.
Are we struggling with that?
Like, nothing.
We haven't even gotten to metaphors and similes yet. That's in the future.
Probably
I just read
because
a
of
thing on how to
Guido.
teach metaphor, and it says you can introduce the concept as early as 3rd grade.
Yeah. They might not understand it, but you can introduce it.
Yeah,
But
but
not
Leo
be-
was yesterday's grading. You were today's grading.
What about not being an idiot?
That would be a good theme.
It's classes already.
Kira. That was
It's
weird.
like the name of a character in the thing. Anyways, so if good talk.
Right. So next up, internal conflict. For internal and external, the next two. What one? Do you guys know the difference between internal and external?
No.
Joseph?
Internal is in, external.
Oh, really?
Correct. Internal are things inside of you. External are things outside of you. Like right now, your organs should be internal. They are inside of you. If you go up and smack a bear, then very soon that your organs will not be internal, and your organs will probably be external, but you probably don't have to worry about, organs at all. A conflict is going to be a fight or a battle of some kind. Like the kid who leaned against the wall while being in a circle, then got yelled at and lost points, and that becomes like a conflict between him and the teacher in some way. So that would be a conflict. An internal conflict is going to be a thing inside the character's head, a decision that they have to make in some way. So an internal conflict is a decision in the story by a character, always written as something or something, an action or a different action.
Will like an anime battle count as an internal conflict?
Nope, has to be a decision inside their head. Kira?
Yeah, I remember what I wanted to say. It's does the story have to have a theme?
No, usually they have something. It doesn't always have to be a strong theme, but there'll be a theme of some
I
kind.
have an entire book series that doesn't really have a theme.
That could be. So on this one, like your decision could be write down the notes or lose points for leaving it blank. Turn in your homework or have to stand in class. So there, talk out loud or keep your B points. Call on the student or just let him stand there. Those were all like internal conflicts, decisions that are being made. Anton?
Your big brain is kind of covering up the screen. I can't see it.
Decision, something, yellow sheet. Here's your yellow sheet thing. On internal conflict, do not use the word not, ever. I would recommend writing that somewhere on the green sheet. Even though it's not here, here's my hint to you. If you use the word not, I get to yell at you and you're going to get a question wrong. Because that will be on Friday's quiz to see which kids pay attention. The reason being, the reason why you cannot use not is it makes it a globetrotter answer. It makes it weak and wussy. Because I've realized kids will go, the character's conflict was do their homework or not do their homework. No, you just said the same thing twice. You just added a not to it because you're lazy. So it becomes to smack a child or not smack right in the so do not, which also means you cannot use the word don't. Because don't is a contraction of do not, which you guys knew because that's why you raised your sneaky little hands. Or can't or wouldn't. Or you can use those, just make sure you protect your throat when you do.
Why?
Anthony?
Unless you want to get choked.
What about never?
Depends on how you word it. It can sometimes work that way. Kira?
It's a mental decision, right?
Yeah, should be.
All right, put mental.
Eli?
When I say do not, say not.
Yes, that's actually what I would say. I would say do not say not. Dev?
No. Nowhere.
Nowhere what?
No.
No?
And you out.
Possibly. I mean, what I'm looking for is essentially not using not prevents you from giving me a wussy answer. That's all I'm looking for you not to do. Be smart or not be smart. You should be smart or be dumb. So I'm looking for you guys just to use your thinking in that one. And then external conflict, the last one down there. If an internal conflict is a fight inside their head, an external conflict is just a fight. It is just going to be a battle between characters. Almost always written as a thing versus a different thing. Bobby versus the bear. The boy versus the teacher. The class versus the substitute.
The idiot versus the moron.
That'd be an interesting battle, but yes.
So cheap.
Kira?
What if I managed to use the word not, but word it extremely differently, so it
That
sounds.
could work.
All right.
Way to work the system. If that brings you happiness, enjoy.
It really does.
It's fine. The not is not a bad thing. I just trying to prevent the laziness. And it sounds like you're doing a lot of work, so that probably avoids laziness.
Yay!
I'm not lazy. I work hard. And well, I mean, some kids do work hard to be lazy, but. And by the way, this is getting ready to disappear in just a moment.
Yo.
I need it.
Dev.
Okay, so for not, like, what's the, like a really, like, good sentence? It's like
so good. Still don't know if I still make it.
Again, it depends on the whole lazy bit. We're going to practice in a moment, and that's going to help you figure things out. For those of you who are confused about why not is naughty, you're like, is it naughty? Naughty. We're going to practice, and we're going to help you guys out. I'm not going to just abandon you yet. The abandoning comes in the future.
No.
So there.
Do it.
Then, so for this next part, you don't have to write anything down. We are officially done writing for the day. This next part just involves your brain and thinking. Just like writing, but more work for some of you. We're going to read a really short story, like a one-page thing I'm going to read out to you. And it's one most of you have heard before about a small fuzzy bunny getting into a fight with a reptile. And so we're going to read that and then figure out character, setting, plot, point of view, stuff like that. Aha, my copy of the story. Your copy of the story is here. And again, I'm going to read it to you. You just have to sit. Now, I would not put the green sheet away yet because you still need to look at that to know the answers here, unless you have it memorized and I can call on you because you're a genius child. Hi, Kira.
Do you mean a hare instead of a rabbit?
Same thing.
Not really.
To me, they
They
are.
have different names for
They
them.
do. The tortoise and the rabbit, to bother Kira. There once was a sassy rabbit who thought he was all that and a bag of chips. He would brag to all of the other animals in the forest about how much faster than them he was. I have never yet been beaten, he said. Whenever I want to win, I will most definitely destroy anybody who steps up. I challenge anyone in this forest to race with me. A friendly turtle, who'd been listening to the annoying bunny for weeks on end, said quietly, I accept your challenge. Ha! That's a good joke, said the confident hare. I could dance around you all the way. You're not even worth the effort of a laugh. Just keep talking, answered the tortoise. Until you've actually beaten me, your words mean nothing. Shall we race? So an impromptu racetrack was created, and a start line was dragged in the dirt. As soon as the owl yelled, "Go!" the hare took off at a sprint and was almost out of sight at once. But about halfway down the track, he stopped, came up with a plan. He wanted to show that dumb turtle just how stupid he was for sassing him in front of his friends. To insult the scrubby little tortoise, he just laid down in the middle of the road and took a nap. The tortoise, meanwhile, plodded on and on. He ignored the rabbit and just did what he did best, walk without stopping. Eventually, when the hare awoke from his taunting nap, he looked up to see the tortoise almost across the finish line. And no matter how much he sprinted and swore, he could not catch up in time to save the race.
That's
All
what
right,
game.
so now you've seen it. My goal is to leave there for a second. Do you know who our three characters are? Do you know when and where it takes place?
Yeah.
Do you know the theme
No.
and point of view,
No.
decisions being made, and what two things are fighting?
The
Let's
tortoise and the
find out.
hare.
All right.
Enemy battle.
So the first one, characters. Three characters. Who are the three characters?
Owl, hare,
Hare.
and the tortoise.
There you go. So three characters, the hare, tortoise, owl. Anytime I have you guys do this, after you list the characters, you also have to describe the characters. And your description just has to be something that would not work for any other character and gives us information from the story. So as an example, you can't say an animal because that doesn't really tell us enough. And you can't say, I'm trying to think, starts with an H because right in the throat. I'm aware hair starts with an H. So I'm looking for an information from it. You can't be like, has a bad home life. We don't know that. There's nothing in the story that tells me that. So you have something from the story, description bits. All right, so for hair, how would we describe hair, Miles? What'd you say?
Sassy?
I can see sassy. Sorry, I thought you said fattening. And I'm like, I guess so. I wasn't trying to fat shame the hair, but all right. I can see sassy. DJ?
Cocky.
I would see cocky. Goes along the same idea. Anthony? Then you guys covered. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to the character, but I think that works
Wait,
for me.
I have one.
Hang on, I do too. Tortoise! Jumping down to the next one. Ani?
Has a hard shell?
He does. Does that pop up in the story at all?
No.
Don't make me attack you, Ani. It's okay. Ani?
Does not give up.
You say does not do well?
Does not give up.
Does not give up. That makes more sense. I would accept that one. Does not give up. Yes.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm slow.
Apparently that works for Frisky. She's upset with you, so yes, I would accept slow. Deb?
Calm.
You say calm?
Calm.
Yeah, actually the same thing. I did calm and slow. It's kind of weird. That's the same brain thing on it. Jameson?
For the heresy donkey. I mean, Jack.
I can see that. For the owl does not do much in the story. He only does one thing, which is
Set up the trap.
there you go. He basically starts the race, and that's it. For setting, what are the two parts of setting? Hang on, just in general, what's the definition of setting?
Forest.
No.
Where?
There you go. When, where?
Avery?
For the win. For the win. That doesn't really
That's not funny.
tell you when it takes place. So what I went for was just the fact that it takes place a long time ago. Although I did have a kid put an argument out earlier that it takes place at night. My question is, can you tell me what argument the kid used to tell me why it takes place at night? Joseph? Because it says what? One part of it was him taking a nap. That was the argument. Eli?
Because an owl was awake.
And that was the other argument. And that had not been what I put up there, but if you think it through like that and you have a good argument, I will absolutely respect that. And I was like, oh, that's a good argument. The owl was awake and a character took a nap. I'll roll with that. Oh, for the where's it, the overall place it takes place? Forest.
Or on the track.
And then in the forest, where does it take place?
On Earth. On the track.
There you go. Right. Then, Mufasa. Oh? I got nothing. Tomorrow, we're going to pick up with plot and see how much you guys remember from one day to the next. And then we're going to get to a story about a lady who might have to kill her boyfriend. And we're going to get a chance to go from there. And don't back up because you have to show me your iPad so I can figure out how to turn it in.
What?
The homework